Hello, I hope you're well. It's Matt Mock here, tuning in from Sydney, Darling Harbour. As you can see, lovely weather in Sydney today. And today, I just want to talk about how I've been able to help others in regards to habit formation and why habits such an important topic in regards to success. And I was never a very, as I say, habitual person. Like I always failed stuff in my life. For example, high school, university, job applications, you name it. About habits, it's always difficult to establish and achieve discipline. And I always find it difficult to do it. And I just don't know why. And I believe, if you're watching this right now, you may also have some problems in regards to habits. And this is why I really want to help you in regards to how you can actually make habits stick, because that's the hard part. You can start doing something, right? And then it just doesn't stick. Ever wonder why? Well, I'll be telling you in this video, and towards the end especially, I'll be giving you my, basically my blueprint in regards to how you can make habits stick. And that's really awesome, by the way, if you ever do that. Like when I began doing that, I just got really happy when I'm getting results, and this is how I achieved discipline. Now, I'd like to share this story of mine. This just basically shows how I've developed habit and discipline, and it goes way back. It was in year 11, so this in high school. So this year was the year before my university entrance exam, and it begins like this. I remember receiving my report card from my teachers. It was my year 11 final exam marks, and I remember clearly going up to my teachers and goes, "Hey Matthew, here's your report card." I got it back, and I was pretty excited because I thought, I studied really hard that year, and I thought I'll get a good mark. And I opened the report card, and then what I saw was just disappointing. I remember opening it and then telling myself, what did I just do? So my first page was English, and I saw the mark was 44%, and I was like, couldn't believe my eyes. Immediately, my heart was like thumping because I need to tell my parents about my poor marks. And then I can hear sounds like my parents screaming at me. I can already picture them doing that. And I remember seeing their disappointing faces because they sent me to tutoring school back then, and they paid a lot of money for me to do well. And what happened was I couldn't deliver 50%. Can you believe that? So I was really struggling. I was really sad, and I got really stressed. Now, what even worse was, I turned to the next page, second page, and that was my mathematics mark. And when I saw the mark, I felt like the sky was falling, sweat dripping down my face, my palms got very sweaty as well, heart racing to, I don't know, it was like someone to come out of my chest, and I almost cried when I saw that mark. That mark was 14% for maths. And little did I know, I got so poor marks. I went to tutoring school, I did whatever I could, and I only got 14%. Can you believe that? And so what happened was, I tore off my English and maths pages on my report card because they were so shocking to me that I just instinctively just tore off the pages. And I didn't know any better because I was playing a lot of games back then, and I just was very lazy back then. I couldn't get any marks. I was a very poor student. And so that day, I remember walking home with the torn report card. I only had about 5 pages left in there. I was giving it to my mum. My mum sat down with my mum on the dining table, and she asked, "Hey Matthew, how's your day?" I was like, yeah, good, pretending to be happy. And then she asked the words which I didn't want to hear. "Matthew, where's your report card?" And I was like, oh. So I slowly reached out to my bag, gave her the report card, and I was crossing my fingers. Please don't notice the torn pages. Please don't notice it was there. Something was missing, sorry. And then eventually she was flicking through and she realized, "Matthew, where's your English mark? Where's your maths marks?" I'm like, oh no. And I said, I can't lie to her. I said, "Mom, I didn't get it. It's not ready now." And then she knew I was lying. So she came up, "Don't lie to me, Matthew. Give me those report cards." And this is when I asked her, "Can I give it to you tomorrow?" And she said, no, give it to me now. So I gave her the report card. And when she saw the marks, she literally flipped. Like, she began to go, Matthew, what are you doing? We're staying to Turing school. Why are you failing? What was this 14%? We paid thousands of dollars for tuition. And this is when I literally almost cried in front of her, like, oh, Mom, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, it was like a really bad moment in my life. I just wanted to give up life that day. I got into a bit of depression, and I just wanted to, I couldn't even give 50% for my mum. They paid for my Turing schools. So that day, she called up my year advisor. I arranged a meeting for the next day. And I remember meeting the year advisor and my mum. And what she said was, hey, do you think Matthew should repeat year 11? Because he's failing school, I don't know what he's going to do with life. He's just failing. And the year advisor said, yeah, I think, Matthew, do you reckon you should repeat year 11? I think it's a good idea. You're not doing well now. You probably need about a year to catch up to your peers, and you'll be better again. And in my head, I was like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. My little voice was saying, that moment, yes, I should just repeat year 11. I'm like, shit right now. Like, I didn't want to. How can I get into university in 1 year? I got 14%. But then something awakened inside me. Rush of emotions came up to me. And I remember just picturing me graduating with my friends. I was very tight with my group of friends in high school. And I didn't want to graduate without them. That's like a very emotional attachment that I had. And then my intuition is telling me, Matthew, I know it sucks right now, but I think you can be able to do it. Just say yes, no to not repeating, and say yes to year 12, the final year of university. And then I just went for it. I said, no, Mum. And then year advisor, I want to continue. I want to graduate with my friends. I'll do whatever it takes. Please give me another chance. I will achieve a good mark for the university entrance exam. They looked at me with disbelief, but said, oh yeah, okay, Matthew, prove it to us that you can do it. And so what I did was I went to my maths tutor and asked him, hey, look, this is my mark for year 11. What can I do? And he literally also flipped when I saw 14%. And he gave me, and this word just awakened me. This is the turning point of my high school life. He said, Matthew, I went to the worst school in Sydney, and yet I still got 98 for my entrance exam. If I can do it, you can do it too. Don't let your past define your future. Always stay motivated and confident that you can achieve what you can achieve. And if you can believe in yourself, you're able to achieve it. And that is exactly what I believed. So I followed his steps. And that day, I set an intention. I want to achieve 95 for my university entrance exam. So I wrote down a piece of paper in my room, 95 in big letters. I stuck on my wall. And that was when I started studying really hard. Every single day, I'll wake up early, go to school 2 hours early just to do past papers in a room. I remember just waking up early, doing the work non-stop. And during the school holidays where everyone is partying, going overseas and all that, I was hustling at home. Wake up at 6 a.m. every day, study till 5 o'clock. So I studied 8 to 10 hours every single day for the whole year. I love discipline. I remember every day I was like, I've got to keep going. There were days where I want to give up. Of course, it's very hard to study 8 to 10 hours every single day, but what kept me motivated was I made a promise to my year advisor and my mum. I want to get into university. I'm going to show what I'm made of. So I'm sick of tired of failing, all the time in high school. And this is the year where I want to change. And at the end result was, I remember I'd get my year 12 final marks. I became dux of the school. I came first in most of my subjects. And this is when I just almost teared up. I was like so happy. I can't believe it. All my hard work has paid off. I finally was able to really just show what I'm made of. At the end, I was awarded a scholarship from the school principal to get into law school at the University of New South Wales, which is one of the top law schools in Australia. And this is my story. I went from literally rock bottom in year 11. In 1 year, I turned it around and got into law school. And from my story, I've broken down to 3 blueprint, the 3-step blueprint, which I've used to have good habits in regards to studying. So the first one, are you ready? The first one has been, it's called an anchor. So an anchor is basically like, how do I say it? It's like something, you ever heard like a song back in childhood, and then when you hear the song today, it brings back memories? Well, that is an anchor. And you need to remove old anchors, so any bad anchors which you associate with, for example, if you hate waking up early, probably the alarm clock, because when it goes off, you probably want to snooze. That's a bad anchor. So the good anchor that I set during my year 11 life was the 95 that's stuck on the wall. Every time I wanted to give up, I looked up to the 95 on the wall and I remind myself, that is what I'm aiming for. That is what kept me motivated and disciplined. Every single day I did 8 to 10 hours without fail. And this is why I became obsessed with achieving good marks, because of that anchor. It reminded me of what I promised my year advisor and my mum. And this is what made me change so much. So step one is make an anchor, good anchor, make it stick. Second one is a routine. So you gotta have a routine for your habits, what you're doing. And it takes about 21 days on average to make a habit stick. So make sure you have a routine. For me, it was like 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. study every single day. And that's a routine that I've literally just kept for the whole year. And this is why I've had such a big breakthrough in regards to my results. So make sure you got a routine that suits your schedule. So it could be anything in regards to routine. It could be like going to the gym at 6 a.m. before work. Whatever fits you, make sure that the routine works. You gotta make sure that you stick to it. Otherwise, the habits will easily fall apart. And the last step, most importantly, is reward. Humans, about human psychology, we are very reward-seeking human beings. We always seek rewards for anything. So the more likely you give rewards to yourself when you achieve a particular task, the more likely you go and do it. So for myself, I used to be an anime fan back in high school. So what I did was, after I studied 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day, the 10 hours, what I did was I reward myself, okay, for the whole night, for 5 hours, I'll go ahead and watch anime. That was the reward I gave myself every single day, and I loved it, and it worked for me. Without it, I'll probably have given up. So make sure you have that reward so that you can really just make that habit stick like a brick. Does that make sense? So have that reward. It's very important to reward ourselves, because all the hard work, you got to celebrate along the way, the small steps you've taken, and that is what makes the habit stick. So remember, the elevator to success is broken. You have to take the stairs, and for every step you take on the stairs, you should be celebrating, rewarding yourself. And this is why most people, they do not have those habits. So I want you to realize that you can do it too. Just follow my 3-step process. One is to have an anchor. So set something, you just put something on your wall in your room. Do something to change your room environment. This signifies to your subconscious mind, change is happening, and I'm going to change for the greater good. So make sure you get that done. Number 2 is the routine. So make sure you have a routine every single day, week, in regards to what you want to do to achieve that particular goal. So you want to go to the gym, make sure you stick to it every single day or week so that you don't let it slide. Remember, 21 days is what the average amount of time it takes for a habit to form. So follow it for 21 days and it becomes much easier. The last tip I'd like to leave is the reward. Make sure you reward yourself, because rewarding yourself is an amazing feeling, and it's what made me work every single day hard, because I always look forward to that reward, and it's just a very amazing thing to look forward to. So make sure you reward yourself for the hard work they're putting, and that's very, very important. Thank you so much for listening to my live stream. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I know this stuff may seem really difficult. 3-step, it took me years to master habit and discipline formation. It's very daunting, and it may sound confusing right now. So if you have any questions, drop me a PM. I'll be very, very happy to answer your questions, because I know that when I first learned this stuff, I wanted to clarify with my coach all the time, and just very, very confusing. So please drop me a PM and I'll be very happy to answer your questions. And as always, hit the subscribe button or the follow button if you're on Facebook, so that you can tune into more of this content. And as always, get out there and ready, fire, aim, so that you can go to live the life that's truly worth living. I'll see you on the next live soon. Take care.